Jimi Hendrix knew what to do. It was time to head up to Timbuktu, ancient capital of African civilization where many nations crossed, libraries full of books before Europeans were even doing that kind of thing. People thought Africa was primitive, but Jimmy knew that Timbuktu had to sing a strange desert song into his ears. He was going there with his guitar, just hanging out. He was kind of transported in a strange time warp into kind of 2010 and a half, let's say. And there he was strumming his guitar that day, when who should roll up but Julius, his great friend. Perhaps not. We'll see what else does into the story part. But anyway, as was the tradition, Julius's two bodyguards stood ahead of him, beating gongs, going, "Ladies and gentlemen, feel the ground beneath your feet tremor, for in steps Julius Malema, eater of sushi off naked bodies and things like that. More silly than Noddy occasionally, yes, but he's come here to bless you. All the way from Polokwane comes Jules." Jimi Hendrix was sitting there trying to play some blues, and he was kind of thinking that political news wasn't the first thing he wanted blowing through his strange and wiry hair. But then again, strangely enough, Mozart was also there. Everyone was coming through the space and time continuum in a strange way, due to a strange kind of rabbit who was called Bismoggy, who was getting all interested and actually kind of snoggy with Jimi Hendrix, because Jimmy was quite experimental in other ways than music too. At that point in time, Julius Malema, jealous of being ignored, pulled out his blue vaporizer and put on the red light. He placed it on Jimi Hendrix's third eye, but Jimi Hendrix's spiritual force and musical greatness was too much for Julius to handle. It was repelled. It was like Voldemort's spell against Harry Potter, which I just finished reading after like 8 years. That's the end of it. The spell went back and Julius sadly was blown into smithereens, began to orbit in space. But he was blessed with a strange kind of grace, because Julius was blessed celestially up there with a strange charm, which is called I Love Beauty Lip Balm. No sooner did a bit of the stuff roll onto our dear friend Jules's lips, then he started getting a bit looser and gyrating his hips. Maybe he ran into the spirit of Elvis up there, who knows what, but suddenly in his fragmented form he started to care. And the next day it rained Malema down on the whole earth. Suddenly people were filled with a great sense of self-worth, touched by the raindrops that blessed Malema with I Love Beauty lip gloss. At which point in time the White Rabbit stepped in and said, well, maybe Julius truly is the boss. You can imagine anything you like if you put your imagination on your bike and pedal a bit, like this medallion of the Petit Prince, who is a famous character from France who dreamed of elephants and strange things up on his own planet out there somewhere like Sirius B. Everyone was having a really great time, including the White Rabbit, who eventually ended up in me.